£4 bribery probe over Putin-funded. Pressure on Starmer's anti-corruption chief Tulip Siddiq to urgently step aside.
By Baldaha's security correspondent.
A Labour minister is being investigated over claims she and members of her family took bribes of up to £4 billion. City Minister Tulip Siddiq, who is responsible for stamping out corruption in Britain's financial sector, is being investigated for the alleged embezzlement linked to a nuclear power plant deal in her native Bangladesh. The country's Anti-Corruption Commission launched a probe into Ms. Siddiq, her UK-based mother Sheikh Hana Siddiq, and her aunt, Sheikh Hasina Wazd, the ousted former Prime Minister of Bangladesh who ruled the country with an iron fist for more than 15 years. Hasina fled Bangladesh to India in August with Hana at her side after weeks of violent protests in which security forces killed hundreds of civilians. The investigation was launched after an order from the country's High Court, which heard claims that Tulip Siddiq may have helped to broker the nuclear deal, worth £10 billion in total. The power plant was built by a Russian state-backed company called Rosatom, and the deal was signed inside the Kremlin back in 2013 by Hasina and Vladimir Putin in the presence of Ms. Siddiq, who was then a Labour councillor.
The IC is also probing other members of Ms. Siddiq's family, including her maternal cousin, Sajol Wazd, who lives in the US, and her paternal uncle Tariq Siddiq, who is believed to be hiding in Bangladesh. They were named in the court papers. An IC official said yesterday, "The Commission is committed to ensuring transparency and accountability, irrespective of the stature of those involved." Last night, Ms. Siddiq declined to comment, but a source close to her said the allegations, which first emerged on an American website, were spurious. Sid Farouk, the UK General Secretary of Hasina's Awami League Party and a family friend of Ms. Siddiq, said, "These stories are fabricated. These are 100% politically motivated attacks against the Hasina family by the current government. They are attacking Tulip because she is the niece of our Honourable Prime Minister, Sheikh Hasina." In collusion with Russian officials. The bribes probe is the latest controversy surrounding Ms. Siddiq since she became city minister in July. Within weeks, she was investigated by parliamentary standards after the Mail on Sunday revealed she did not declare rental income for a London property for almost 14 months. Parliamentary rules require members to declare such incomes within 28 days. The minister, whose official title is Economic Secretary to the Treasury, apologized and was cleared by the commissioner who accepted the mistake was inadvertent.
In August, the same newspaper revealed how Ms. Siddiq moved into a £2 million 5-bedroom house 2 years ago, which she rented from a political ally of her then PM aunt. The landlord, Abdul Karim, was given special business privileges in Bangladesh after Ms. Siddiq, 42, and her family moved in. The minister denied any wrongdoing at the time. The latest probe into Ms. Siddiq and her family comes after Bobby Hajjaj, a Bangladeshi opposition politician, filed a High Court petition in September. It was made in response to various articles in the Bangladeshi media, quoted in the court papers, that alleged Ms. Siddiq and her family took bribes in the nuclear deal. The deal to build the Rupur nuclear power plant in Ishwadi Upazila, 128 miles northwest of the capital Dhaka, was signed between Hasina and Putin in 2013 in a grand ceremony in the Kremlin where Ms. Siddiq, her mother Hana, 69, and the minister's younger sister, Asmina, 34, were present. A beaming Ms. Siddiq and her family even posed for photos with the Russian leader afterwards. The Bangladeshi media reports were triggered by an article on a US-based news website called Global Defense Corporation, which detailed how the £4 billion was siphoned off by Ms. Siddiq and her family members, the writ claims. The writ adds, "The respondent.
No. 13. Ms. Siddiq is a British Member of Parliament and the niece of the respondent. No. 10. Hasina. She was instrumental in managing the affairs and coordinating meetings with Russian government officials regarding the р-Somor nuclear power plant project. The documents further allege that 90% of the £10 billion cost of the power plant was met by a loan from the Kremlin to the Hussein government, but £4 billion was embezzled by the Hussein family in collusion with Russian officials, through Malaysian banks. The documents say, it is alleged that the respondent No. 13, Ms. Siddiq, along with respondent No. 10, Hussein, and other family members, received 30% of the embezzled funds in exchange for their mediation. The papers claim that up to £709 million was siphoned out of Bangladesh through a fake company called Prachair Limited to different countries including the United Kingdom.
Hussein's rule was characterized by human rights violations, extrajudicial killings and disappearances of political opponents, with groups such as Amnesty highlighting the abuses in their reports. A Bangladeshi court issued an arrest warrant for her, and her son Sajol Wazd said last month his mother was ready to face trial and has done nothing wrong. But since Hussein was ousted, various court papers have been lodged citing her and her family members over the murders as well as other corruption issues. Ms. Siddiq has in the past praised her aunt as a role model, but has not publicly commented on her ousting in August. However, the Treasury Minister's connections with her aunt's hardline political party, the Awami League, go back more than a decade, as she once worked as its British spokesman. Joe Robertson, the Tory MP for Isle of Wight East, said, "It is clear that there are serious questions that demand answers. What is the minister's involvement? What exactly is the nature of these allegations, and how can she possibly continue in post while under such a serious investigation?" The Treasury, Labour Party and Ms. Siddiq declined to comment, but her source said she had not been contacted about the matter. Last night, Rosatom could not be contacted. But it has said previously, Rosatom rejects the provocative questions that demand answers.
News published and circulated in the media regarding unethical financial transactions in the р-Somor nuclear power plant project. We are committed to transparent working practices, strict anti-corruption policies, and openness in all procurement processes. We view the false information published and circulated in the media as an attempt to discredit the project, which is vital for addressing Bangladesh's electricity shortage.